Hey y'all, real quick, the video is not up, and this one is gonna go up before it because this is very short. At the end of the new Love Edition, self-sabotage, basically running from commitment, running from success, running from growing, evolving, running from responsibility, all these things, right? That's what that topic is about. Okay, so these are people who are often, they run from like marriage and commitment. When shit get real for them, they're like, I'm out, peace out. That's self-sabotage. Okay, and this, on a subconscious level, it could be for a myriad of reasons. And basically, in the long video, this is a short condensed video, I'm teaching you how to keep asking yourself why. Why am I running? Why am I doing this? Why am I going to my safe zone? Where did these stories come from? Who told me at what time that I possibly wasn't the greatest with responsibility, that I couldn't trust myself? Was it your mother, your father, your lover, your ex, your sister, your brother, the la 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 la, right? And did it come from childhood, or were you more full-blown adult? That's what I tell people all the time. The subconscious is still collecting data, okay? It does not stop just at childhood. But there are things in your subconscious that you have taken as your story. Therefore, you are operating on a system that is not yours. You're not in character. You're not in you're not in your character. You're not in who you're supposed to be. You're in a program that was like ingrained in you. You're in a narrative. You're playing out a narrative that is not true to who you are. So you have to go back and ask why. Then when you identify who it was, what the experience was, then you have to debunk that person, experience, whatever, to say that's not my narrative. And they were also not an expert on me or life or God, basically, because God is going to tell you this is your assignment. This is what I tell you that you could go out and do. He gives you all the keys, right? He gives you all the keys. Where you're weak, he's strong. Everything is in you that you already need. But when we get here, we come across these people, places, experiences, whatever, that tell us we don't have what we need. Then we start self-sabotaging. Okay, anyway, this is a message for someone because it came through at the end. God said, start talking about where you come from. Somebody is like embarrassed about where they come from, whether it's humble beginnings, their trauma, what happened to them, what they lived through. God said you need to start speaking about it. You need to, I don't care if you need to write a damn book, if you need to put it on TV or put it on YouTube or whatever the hell, it's up to you, whatever. But also it's a testimony and it's a story to tell. And at the end of that reading, it wasn't a reading, but at the end of the chit chat video, this came through, and I was like, well, let me do a small short to get this out. There are people, whoever I'm talking to, this person, their energy is very like, so to say if I sat down and talked with them, right, and I'm like talking about my childhood or whatever, and I'm like, yo, share about your childhood, or I'm trying to go deeper. This person's like, nah, you need to stay in your lane. Like, this person will tell you like, nah, we ain't talking about that. Like, they will tell you, like, if you are having a conversation and you ask them about where they come from, their childhood, their family, they will shut your ass down. Like, this energy is like kind of King of Swords-ish. So I'm an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, right? So air energy, that person may have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius in their energy. I'm picking up Libra or Gemini, but maybe more so Gemini. Because Geminis, they'll get cut, like, they can do that Kanye West thing where they go from one energy to the next, Whoever this is, when you ask them about, it's like they'll give you a little bit. They ain't gonna sit there and say, man, this is what happened to me. This is where I come from. This is my story or whatever. But God is wanting to tell that person that there's power in your story. Basically, that there's power in your testimony, and that there's people who at this moment are probably going through the things that you had to make it through or struggle through or overcome, that you have the key to helping other people free themselves out of certain situations that they've been in. Even though this person that I'm talking about, they got healing that they have to do that's connected to self-sabotage. They don't let stuff like, they don't like commitment. And this is crazy because I myself, and I was saying it in the long version of this, my sister told me, and like one day she was like, you got commitment issues. And I was like, what? And she was like, it's not in love. She was like, it's in everything. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm the type of person where, like, of course, I don't let people just project on me. And she wasn't, because she's not a person who's afraid of commitment, right? So I was like, let me look into that. You know, let me dive deep into that. And I am. I'm a person, but again, I'm an Aquarius woman. I love my freedom. So, you know, I'm kind of like that. And I love the energy of being like just my authentic self and my unique self. And anybody who tries to stifle that or stop that, or they want so much of me that I can't be that, I'm like, yo, you got to go. you to the door. Like, I don't like that, you know? Or even just like being way too clingy. I'm like, bro. But I did tell myself that moving forward, I'm going to be way more affectionate than I've ever been, right? With my next lover. But the cling stuff of like, no. But anyway, whoever this is though, like how I was saying, they, you know, and I tell people all the time, you don't have to be perfect to be able to help other people. You don't. But someone has a lot internally. They have to start digging out from the subconscious what's going on, what's running their life. And what's happening is that they self-sabotage. This person probably don't want to get married. They don't, it's like they like stability, but they don't. Like, their dream would not be to like buy a mansion and like be in a mansion for like 20 years and raise kids and stuff. Like, it's not like that. No. Now, this person may buy the mansion like in terms of like an investment or real estate or something like that, not to live in it. I don't know. It's like when shit get real, or like when real problems arise, or say you're in a relationship or whatever, you know, you're in a marriage, you in love, whatever, and you have to talk about real life things, they gonna split out. They gonna chunk the deuce, stay out. They like, oh no, that's a little bit too real for me. I don't like that. But the problem is that from what I'm picking up, look, you had a mask card in the shadow and the orphan. This is what I'm talking about. Oh God, bro, when I be having moments like this, I be spooking myself. Then you have the lover. This deck of cards has been sitting over here since, I don't know, maybe the twin flame reading. I don't know. It's just sitting over here, right? And these are the cards I just look down and see. But it's just a confirmation that I'm supposed to be saying this and talking about this, okay? People can't show up as the lover when they feel like the orphan, or they can't show up consciously as the lover and they feel like the orphan subconsciously. Yeah, they're just not. They're gonna leave the scene before somebody else can leave them because they don't want to be abandoned. Subconscious. We don't really operate from our conscious. We operate from our subconscious, which is why people be doing affirmations, or they watch stuff over and over again, or things that we do are ingrained in us over and over again. Our real memory bank is the subconscious. Our life and how we operate is the subconscious. That's why I know this sounds crazy. I'm in love with the subconscious. Like, I like to sit down and have conversations with people and be like, okay, walk me back. Walk me back, because I'm going to show you the root. I'm going to tell you the root. And actually, one of my clients who I'm doing a healing journey with, and it's new, and me and her, we're just, working this thing out. It took us to talk until she started revealing some things about her childhood. I said, girl, I can help your ass now. I'm like, in a sense, because I feel like, look, you got to help yourself. Ain't nobody really gonna help. You got to help yourself. But what I can do is I can identify that's a subconscious problem right there. That's why a lot of this is sparking about. And it's, again, it all starts with you. Even when I started that spread, it was like love, healing, and finances, and healing was in the middle, and we always saw that the healing either bled into the love side or the finances side, because everything starts with you. And I'll take it a step further to tell you everything starts with your subconscious. So we as a collective over here need to be diving into that subconscious. And you know what, I'm the type of person where when I first heard about well, I'm like, I just feel like sometimes the way that affirmations is like marketed and stuff, it's just so cheesy. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, you know? And so I use a lot of Bible verses, you know, things like that. Not affirmations that, that someone just pulled out the crock of their ass and was like, oh, this is a great affirmation, you know? I want to make sure that what I'm affirming for myself is what God has for me. That's, you know, it's according to God's plan. And so I use the good book. You know, I use the good book to connect with certain affirmations, right? And one of the most powerful ones is, you know, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Period. Keep saying that. Say that shit 10 times. Write it 10 times. Say it over and over. Say it before you go to bed. Write it before you go to bed. All of that. When I was into like, oh, I'm learning manifestation, oh, I'm I would do stuff before bedtime, and then when I woke up, like the next day, the shit'll start happening. And when you're an overthinker, when your brain works pretty fast, that helps you. Once you learn how to take power over it, yeah, it helps a lot. Because it's like the speed of your brain is quite fast. It's elevated because you're an overthinker. But once you get your goddamn thinking right, when you get it right, it's gonna be up to optimal speed in terms of the trajectory, Lord Jesus, of where you want your life to go, right? But anyway, this is a message for somebody. They can't even. They what's happening is, and they hide everything. What's happening is, it's like the reason why they hide is that they hide from themselves. It's like the reason why you hide in life is because you hide from yourself, in the sense of like, in order to stop operating out of the subconscious, the first step is to start to reveal. You got to reveal it to heal it, just like Jay-Z said. So, if whoever I'm talking to, because I feel like they want healing or whatever, but they stifle themselves by they don't talk. They don't tell nobody. They talk, yeah, they have conversations, whatever. They don't talk. They talk about what they want to talk about. This could even be a person where they'll let somebody else open up a lot, but for them, there's a certain barrier. But so if you're operating with barriers, right? You're living with barriers, self-limiting belief barriers, whatever it is, you know. So you have to be able to get around people who are not gonna judge you, and literally, like, they don't care about what walk of life you came from. And you got to get around genuine people who really you know how to love and just accept people, you know, for who they are, what they are. And that's why, and they can see the God in people, you know. But anyway, someone is in this state, and they're very clear. They have very clear boundaries, which is good. But because I believe you ain't supposed to just be sharing all of your stories and everything with everybody. That those are some things that are triggering or painful. I don't like that. I don't like no prying type energy. Okay. I believe that the atmosphere got to be right for certain conversations and the people that you're around. You know, and I also feel like it's not safe to open up the ground floor for someone to talk about very traumatic times in group settings. Don't do that. You're talking about boundary. that's something that I don't believe in doing. And I'm a very one-on-one person, you know. Like I said, I am, I guess, what they call, if I was to classify myself, an introvert. I like to connect on a one-on-one basis, or like no more than 3. I mean, and I do holidays and all of that, you know, but again, we in COVID still, but conversations that have a lot of trauma in them, I feel, are to be on a more smaller scale. Now, you could go through like a support group or something like that, or a meeting or something like that. But the thing about that is that everybody has gone through that specific trauma. Excuse me. So it's a safe zone. And it's a judgment-free zone, because if I done went through the same trauma that you went through, I'm going to have compassion for you and understanding for you. I'm not going to sit up here and judge you and be like, oh, that person's weird or whatever. But when you do that in a group setting where there is no common bond, there is no common bond of like, we all had this trauma and we're here and we're speaking about it so we can heal it, that opens up the floor for someone to be pointed at, laughed at, and ridiculed. You came from less than me. Oh, so that's why you act like that. You don't deserve to be here. All that. And people who don't want to open up their mouth and talk about their experiences, they fear that judgment. They fear that judgment, you know. So that's why I tell people, if you don't know what you're doing, just don't do it at all. You know, I feel like group settings is not a one-on-one. And that's why I feel like marriages could be can be very, very strong. If you are really with someone who did not put on a mask just for you to marry them, okay? If somebody who really showed up as a genuine, honest, true, authentic self, baby, a marriage can go a long way just for the fact, because you can confide. One person that you can confide in and tell them the double roof truth always, every single day, and they not gonna judge you. That's beautiful. That's what freaking love is. That's beautiful. You know, not you tell this person, I'm hurting, I'm in pain, or I am acting this way because this is what happened to me. And for them to be like, oh, well, you need to go get help, and you need to and that ain't what and I'm arguing, I'm gonna go back and forth with you, and I'm gonna make you feel even worse about what you feeling. I'm gonna remind you that, oh, I came from here, you came from there, and you know, you better thank God you met all that weird, stupid. It just, even the way the cadence in which I change my voice is how I see those people come off, just ignorant as hell, you know. Yeah. And then, you know, humans are very multi-layered and leveled and fragile and all that. So I get it. This person be like, don't ask me about that. And the way that they say it, they're going to tell you one time and that's it. They're going to tell you one time. And then I feel like you keep prying them or whatever, then they'll make it a little more blunt. But I feel that they will also start to be passive aggressive. So they're not going to be like, you know, I wish you should really shut the fuck up asking me that. They're not going to go like that. They'll start like, they'll start to ask you questions that they know will hit a nerve. They'll hit a nerve. That's what I'm going to say. They will hit a nerve. But they will do it with like, in the nicest way possible. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. But whoever this is, Spirit is just saying that they need to tell their story. That their story is there's great power in their story, and because someone is it's like they want to hide it. They're ashamed of where they come from. They're ashamed, or maybe not ashamed, but they just, I don't know. They don't want people to know, but in order to start healing the subconscious, you have to clean that thing out. So you keep, and again, I always talk about the body remembers. the body remembers, and you're holding things inside that can start manifesting as certain illnesses and things in the body. So you want to get these things out. And this is why community is important, but not only community, connection, one-on-one relationships is important, to where you can sit down and have a truthful, honest communication with someone and say, this is what I'm going through. This is what I've been going through. This is what I haven't told nobody. And the freeing energy of that leaving you, that coming, it's like you literally feel the weight off of your shoulder, you know? And I ain't saying go and tell people, like, I'm not telling you to go tell people incriminating, you know, things about yourself, you know, because I do believe that some things you just need to, you know, you got to discern. But I'm for real. But again, even in that, right, if something like that was happening, you got to find your healing, baby. You know, you got to find your healing. You got to, you know, go talk to a community that has, you know, been through the same thing. But yeah, there is certain things that you probably just, you know, it's smart not to tell, because then somebody be to do one of these numbers. Oh, this is what I got on you, you know, this is what I got on you, and now you're in a messed up situation. So not to that extent, but in terms of you got to talk about it to get it out, things that you know that you can talk about, you know, where it's really a thing with you of like, I don't want nobody to know this, you know, about me. So you got to get it up and out, okay? Or write it. But I also just feel like, and I'm a person like that. Once I be writing stuff, and like I'll tell my sister, don't go in there and get that, because she's so funny. She be like, oh, I just need a paper out of your notebook. I'm like, this is my deepest, darkest secrets. Don't do that. Don't use that one. You know, she be like, can I touch this one? You know, my decks and my journals, it's off, you know. It's off limits. Don't touch my decks. Don't touch my journals. All right. Anything else? You know, with permission, with proper permission. You know, I'm all right. You want to use a shirt? Fine. You know, you need a pair of shoes or something? Fine. You know, whatever. I don't know. Forget about it. You know. But anyway, that's what I got. That was a message for someone. So I tried to make it a little shorter. But talk about the things that you are afraid to talk about. Okay. But you do have to make sure that you're not talking about these things with assholes or in spaces that are not conducive to do so. All right. So that's what I got for you. Sending you love and light. Peace.